Samsung's Galaxy A6 Plus. Is this just another overpriced Samsung mid-ranger, or does it have some redeeming qualities? Well, let's take a close look. But before we do, if this is your first time here or seeing a Snapdragon 450 priced at 26,000 has got you too flustered to remember, my name's Ash, you're watching C4E Tech. Here's a card to a current giveaway. I'll also leave a link in the description below. While you're down there, please do click that bell icon to make sure you get notified every time a new video goes live here on C4E Tech. Look at this back. Now, look at this one. Don't you feel they are from the same line of phones, same line of devices? Well, they aren't. The first one is a J7 Pro. The next is the A6 Plus. The A series for Samsung is supposed to be the higher, kind of more premium series when compared to J, but Samsung's kind of looking confused here. The A6 Plus looks like it's from the J series. It doesn't feature the water and dust resistance from the last generation A series. So why does Samsung think this build would work? Well, as always, Samsung pins their hopes on marketing. The gimmick here is the infinity display. Initially, when Samsung came out with the flagship S phone, they called the longer display with curved edges an infinity display. Now, with the mid-rangers, Samsung just seems to call anything that's not 16:9 an infinity display. As always, diluting the brand value doesn't seem to be an issue for Samsung. If you are someone who's seen a S9's infinity display and hear the term infinity display on the A6 Plus and go in expecting an infinity display, you are gonna be disappointed. Now, that's not to say that this display here is bad. It is a perfectly good 6-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED panel. In fact, I'd say it's almost as good as the ones on OnePlus phones. The colors are punchy, it's bright. Samsung's given this phone an auto brightness sensor. Okay, I can't believe that I need to mention auto brightness sensor in a review in 2018, but it's Samsung and I'm sure you want to know if it's there. So that's that. The panel is perfectly fine with excellent viewing angles, but those bezels around, it's nothing like the infinity displays we've seen on flagships. If you feel Samsung will make up for these with solid internals, well, prepare to be disappointed again. This phone's powered by the Snapdragon 450 chip. Snapdragon 450, now, doesn't that feel familiar? If that's the feeling you have, well, it's the same chip as found on the 10,000 rupee Honor 7C or the 8,000 rupee Redmi 5. Samsung's got it on the 26,000 rupee A6 Plus. There is also 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage, along with support for a dedicated microSD, or rather a dedicated microSD card slot for expansion. Now, this is not a bad chip, it gets most things done, performance for the most part was acceptable. But at this 26,000 rupee price point, just acceptable isn't really acceptable. I mean, wake up if you're a Samsung fan. 26,000 is not a budget where people buy phones just to check WhatsApp and Facebook. Here's where the consumer wants to do more. But the basics, what you can expect from the 450, the Samsung Experience UI built on top of Android 8 Oreo is already a tad heavy, especially when you compare it to the competition. So when you say run something intensive or use 2 apps side by side at once, the A6 Plus kinda struggles. At this price point, it really shouldn't. Now, I'm sure some of you might be thinking, hey, it's a Samsung. Samsung always costs more than cheap Chinese phones. Samsung's got service, Samsung's got brand value, so what's your problem? Didn't you get your check from Samsung this month? Or did the Chinese brand pay you? Well, you know what? Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? The Galaxy A6 is the first 6 in the A series. Before that, we had the A5, and they were all priced cheaper than this A6 Plus. The 2016 A5 came with a Snapdragon 615 chip, or an Exynos equivalent. Now, the 615, as we all know, had its issues, but it still was a 6 series chip. The A5 2017 came with an Exynos 7880 chip. The 7880 is a chip that's almost on par with the 625. Again, a 6 series chip. And now in 2018, Samsung's gone with the Snapdragon 450. Admittedly, the 450 is also almost on par with the 625, but a year has elapsed, right? So from an internal standpoint, I am not comparing this phone with Chinese offerings and being disappointed with the internals. Instead, I am comparing it with Samsung's own A series from last year and the year before, and I'm disappointed about the internals. Again, to reiterate, the performance is smooth for the most part as long as you aren't doing anything too intensive. Even with gaming, a lot of the not too heavy titles work well. When it comes to something heavy like say PUBG, you're gonna see, well, you can see the performance yourself, right? The bright spot for the A6 Plus is its battery life. The Snapdragon 450 is very power efficient, and coupled with the AMOLED panel, the battery life is excellent. With moderate usage, the 3500 mAh battery inside lasts almost 2 days. On each of my 7 days with this phone, I ended my days with about 40% left in the tank. The charging speeds are mediocre though. Another area where Samsung has done extremely well, an area where the A6 Plus does so much better than its predecessors, well, that's with the cameras. We have a primary 16 megapixel f1.7 shooter coupled with a 5 megapixel unit for depth sensing. These cameras are very good. Under well-lit conditions, as you can see, there's a ton of detail. The depth of field is quite shallow thanks to that wide aperture. The dynamic range is as good as you'd find on phones that are priced even a little bit higher. The optics are excellent here on the A6 Plus. Under low light, the performance dips, yes, but it is still not bad. Images are surprisingly clean, but Samsung achieves this by lowering the shutter speed. Low shutter speed plus no OIS means a few shots turn out like this. So under low light, you need to be patient with this camera, and if you are, it will deliver results. The portrait mode implementation was quite good too. Not perfect, but on par with what you'd expect from most other phones in this segment. The live focus option to be able to adjust the blur, now that's a definite advantage. On the video front, the A6 Plus does well, but for a phone in this price segment to lack 4K or even 1080p 60 FPS support in 2018, now that's just sad. Just think about it. We are talking about I constantly see complaints from people on the Redmi Note 5 or the Note 5 Pro not having 4K or EIS or something. People are concerned about EIS, 4K, 1080 60 FPS in the 10 to 15K segment. And here's Samsung in the 26K segment without these features. For what it's worth, 1080p 30 FPS does look good. The lack of OIS does hurt though. The 24 megapixel f1.9 selfie camera, that gets the job done. It even has a portrait mode implementation that works as expected. So before we wrap, let's take a look at the sundries. The side-firing speaker is quite loud and clear. There is a headphone jack and the audio output is surprisingly good. The cell reception and call quality are in line with all Samsung phones, meaning very good. There's dedicated support for microSD. The fingerprint scanner is not the fastest around, but it is quite accurate. Face unlock works really well. So let's sum it up then. Pros: excellent cameras, amazing battery life, decent build, Super AMOLED panel. Cons: priced way too high for the Snapdragon 450, lack of water and dust resistance from the last generation. The design is also not as good as the last gen. Going by just this, the pros do outweigh the cons, right? The A6 Plus is not a bad phone. Hell, I can even see myself recommending it to those looking for a Samsung phone with great cameras in this segment. But Samsung has to be Samsung, and manufacture creates someone out of thin air some negatives. Okay, here we go again. The camera does not have a proper Pro mode. Why? Most phones above 15K offer it. Why remove it? The camera can't shoot 4K. Okay, this might be a hardware limitation, but there is no excuse for the lack of 1080p 60 FPS, which the Snapdragon 450 supports, and the lack of electronic image stabilization. With the interface, haptic feedback's disabled. Again, why Samsung? Why? It's 2018. People don't... haptic feedback, why remove something like that? The misleading marketing with regards to the infinity display. Now, these kind of negatives that Samsung creates for no reason but to make us buy a higher priced phone hurts the A6 Plus. It's not really a bad phone, but the kind of limitations that Samsung has kind of inflicted on it, that is the reason why, despite the excellent optics, I'm gonna have to say this phone is a hard sell. Snapdragon 450 at 26,000, especially with Samsung crippling the experience, it is just not a good deal. There are much better options out there in this segment. So there you go, my 2 cents on the Galaxy A6 Plus. Do you agree with what I've had to say in this video? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm paid by insert brand here. Please let me know what brand you think pays me to do this video. I'm pretty sure there are going to be quite a few of you talking about that. So let me know all that in the comments below. And now it's time I bid you adieu. If you hated this video, yay, you know what to do. But if you did like it, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, someone who you think might be a victim of this kind of marketing. Share it with them. And what else? Oh yeah, subscribe to C4E Tech to see more videos like this. If you've already subscribed, you could do more. Go ahead, hit that bell icon, turn on notifications. And I guess that's pretty much all I want you to do. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.